realize at some point in your life there has to be a level of mutual understanding. There has to be not only a knowledge of self, but there has to be an understanding of what you're getting yourself involved in. When you're in the medical field, and particularly in North America, you will find that these people are not educationally, systematically, or psychologically capable of dealing with international related problems. Their problems are integral to America. Their problems are integral to health related statuses in America. And it's quite interesting when you see that, because you'll realize in many parts of the world there are so many ways of addressing health. Family is one of them. I would say community is another. Charity in addition, right? These are just common baseline standards for dealing with health. But when you enter into the Western world, you start to realize that there, or should I just say, quote unquote, developed countries, there's a very fear projected ideal taken towards dealing with the health matters. And my personal belief is that fear is nothing but the guilt conscious of perhaps the failure of these countries and their ability to truly comprehend mass scales of diverse populations and problems that are integral to their societies. When you take a African child and you ask a white medical doctor to treat him, and that white medical doctor has no knowledge or no comprehension of the issues that this child faced in his upbringing, that's almost like taking it's like taking an apple tree and trying to turn it into an orange. You're not actually fixing the problem, you're fabricating it, you're whitewashing the issue in an attempt to underlie the serious nature of the situation, which is the medical system is very one-dimensional. It's made by America, or should I say by Europe, or both, for America and for Europe and for nobody else. And this is why you'll find that the success rate in curing and treating some illnesses and some medical issues related to the problems that are integral to certain cultures and communities have never been resolved for as long as these communities develop a dependence on the American health systems. And as a matter of fact, the problems have sporadically increased. No level of doctoral knowledge, no level of chemistry studied at an undergraduate level, or no medicine studied at the level of obtaining the license for a doctor teaches anything beyond white biology. These qualifications, the education, and the way the system operates was made by whites and for the benefit of whites solely, so that should you step into their care and their routine, there is only one avenue they know to take with you, and that is to treat you as they have been indoctrinated to treat anybody else. And the problem you'll find with this is historically, history has proven, and bringing it back to the present day, because you'll find that sometimes as we we still have problems in certain societies that nobody's brave enough to talk about when it comes to equity and education, and just overall healthcare. You'll find that the reason these individuals are not capable of accommodating to your matters is because there were times in history where perhaps certain cultural groups were alienated, were isolated, and as a matter of fact were not even considered human or deserving of human rights. And this has had a layover effect into the present circumstances that we face within education and health, because you don't actually understand how the issue has not been resolved. No federal bill, no constitutional law, no federal law, no enforcer has been capable of solving the issue. And the only reason the issue was somehow brought to I won't even say a decent standard, but a standard in general, was because of the fact that these groups that were being attacked, or perhaps were under a level of stress, they came together as a collective and they let you know where they stand. And this is the one thing that I think is very important to actually just bring to a realization, that you will always find the best solution for your problems by making yourself appropriate to go to your own people who are qualified and reasonable to deal with your needs, people who are educated on your biology, right? Trying to squeeze somebody into your system and into your ideal belief based on your projected fear that this person is going to do something, when in reality that person has not done anything. And if anything, that projected fear is nothing more than, as I mentioned, the guilt complex conscious that lies within most Americans, or should I say people who rely on American society, and their inner, should I say, inability to confess that once upon a time they were responsible for the doctrine that suggested that these rights to healthcare and to education were not to be met for certain groups. And it wasn't until those groups fought for the rights that these rights were established. And the best way to get through any type of situation where perhaps you're not being accommodated for is definitely to raise the problem to perhaps a culture or a community that is like-minded as your own and is truly professional in the way that complex situations and dynamics are handled.